Boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru for a little 9/6 edition sponsored by the deli. Hungry? Stop by the deli and get yourself a Chris Seeger grilled cheese. Okay, this is 9/6. Pythagorean triples and families of right triangles. So I'm setting up, there are going to be 4 Pythagorean triples that you are going to be required to memorize. And the only reason, I don't like for you guys to memorize much at all, but in this case, memorizing these will save you a tremendous amount of time, okay? And so that's why I'm asking you to memorize them. So the first one is the most famous one. We call it the Michael Jackson. And which one is that? That's the 3, 4, 5. Keep in mind, it can look like many different things. So it could be 30, 40, 50. It could be 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. Okay? It could be 3 radical 7, 4 radical 7, and 5 radical 7. Any multiple will do. Okay? The second most famous Pythagorean triple is the one that we will refer to as Janet Jackson. Hopefully you guys all know who Janet Jackson is. True? Okay, good. And that is 5, 12, 13. Okay? So those two you definitely have to know. I know them, and I use them a lot when I'm writing tests, as you guys have already seen. The next two are kind of B-list celebrities, okay? So this one is LaToya Jackson. She has been like on Celebrity Cops, and so that's about how famous she is, okay? And that is 8, 15, 17. 8, 15, 17. And then the final one that we're going to be concerned with, there are many, okay, and there are more than 4 Jacksons, hence the Jackson 5, although they didn't let the girls into the Jackson 5, so I think there are actually like 7 or 8 Jackson kids, okay? I think that's true. I think the Jackson 5 was all boys. And that one, let's see, is 7, 24, 25. So it doesn't match my picture at all. And we're going to go with my favorite B-list Jackson celebrity, and that would be Tito Jackson. Okay, so we're going to call that one Tito, LaToya, Janet, Michael. Okay? Well, how do I use those? Well, let's pause for a second. Okay, so example 1. First, let me show you the way that you could do it. That would be the long way, and that would stop you from finishing your quiz on time. You could see this question and say, Pythagorean theorem, I got this. X squared plus 24 radical 7 squared equals 25 radical 7 squared. Okay, so now we got to do 24 radical 7 in our calculator and then square it. So what is that? It is a lot. We're going to go through this and just be annoying. Does anyone have a calculator out? Do 24 times 24 times 7. That's what it is. Thank you. So x squared plus 4,032 equals 4,375, okay? So then you subtract 4,032 from that, and you get x squared is 343. So x is the square root of 343. Well, now you got to ask yourself, well, what goes into 343? Well, I don't know. I bet 7 does, because I already know the answer to this question. So what's 343 divided by 7? Oh, it's 49. So that makes that 7 radical 7. Got it? Well, what we hope that you would recognize is that blank 2425 is a Pythagorean triple. What's the blank? 7. It's 7, 24, 25. So we know that x is 7 radical 7. That's the alternative way to doing that. You got it? Okay, so that's basically the lesson. But let me show you a way that you can even use simplifying things to get these right. Let's say you had 55. Here's example 2. This is not a Pythagorean triple question. It's a simplification issue. Let's say you had 55 and 77 and you wanted to find x. Okay? Most of you would probably set up this problem this way. How? X squared plus, I know the bell's about to ring, but somebody help me out with this calculation and I'll sign you a pass. Okay, what's 55 squared? Thank you. And 77 squared? Is that right, Henry? 5,929? Okay, so now do 5929 minus 3025. 2904. Look what you're tasked with doing now. You have to simplify the radical, what that is 2,904. That's going to take a lot of time. But wait. What if you just said this was 5 times 11, and what's this? 7 times 11. So this x is going to equal n times 11. Well, now you would just do n squared plus 5 squared equals 7 squared. Okay? So n squared is 49 minus 25. 24. What's radical 24? Simplified? 2 radical 6, right? So if n is 2 radical 6, then what is x? It's n times 11. 22 radical 6. 22 radical 6, since Henry's got the sweet Casio, and that did the simplification for him, didn't it, Henry? Is 22 radical 6 the same thing as radical 2904? It is. That's what we're doing today. Got it? Can I get a second bell boom? Hey, next time you get challenged, you better believe in yourself. You understand? Peace. Have a good day.